Hello friends. Today in this video I'll be going to cover about the Unit 4 presentation of the data in documents. I already covered Unit 1, 2, 3 with their practical exercises as well. So coming to the SAP Web Intelligence course, this is the Unit 4 which will be mostly focused on the presentation of the data in the documents. Means how we can present the data in the documents. There are different ways or whatever different functionalities available in the SAP Web Intelligence tool to present the data in a structured and efficient manner so that it will be useful for the users for their business need. So let's continue with that. Unit 4 means you will find the other videos before Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3 if you want to cover. So you can go through that videos first, and then you can start with this Unit 4. So to better understand, it would be very useful if you go through that videos first. Now let's start with this Unit 4. In this Unit 4, the first lesson is about the breaks and calculation. So what is breaks? So breaks is a functionality which is provided in the SAP Web Intelligence tool, which will allows us to structure the data in a table into groups and to make the data easier to view and interpret. So when we apply a break, WebBase separates all the data for each unique value of the selected variable. So it will separate the data for each unique value. Then it will insert a blank row or a column after each value, which allows to insert a subtotals for the data group. And so basically breaks is related to the structuring of the data. So it will be easy to interpret the data, and it will be very easily identified to the users to view the data. So, and the advantages of the using breaks, let's say, means it can efficiently organize the representation of the data, and we can display the subtotals after each break. So let's see means how it looks actually. So this is a first table which is displaying year, quarter, and sales revenue. So if you apply a break, suppose I want to add a break on year. So how it looks like. So if I add a break, let's say means on year. So by each year it will be displaying the data for each year, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, like that. It will display the sales revenue, and after that it will leave a blank line here, which will means allows us to identify that the first block is related to the year 2004, then 2005, then 2006. So breaking means breaks allows to separates separates the data based on the break condition specified, and we can add a subtotals here as well based on the year. So this is one thing. We can add one more break on this quarter one as well, means quarter wise. So quarter one, quarter two also means we can add multiple breaks. So that will become multiple breaks. So this is the overall how it looks. What are the breaks? This is the vertical table which will look like this. So I hope you have understood about these breaks. Let's move forward. How we can add this break? So in SAP Web Intelligence there are steps provided, means, or there are things, means the way we can add a break. So there are two ways. On the analysis tab page, choose display tab page and choose break. This is one way. The other way is if I want to add a break on some specific column, then I can just right click on that and will choose add break. So let's see means how it looks. So the first snapshot here, it shows how we can add. So suppose I want to add a break on this country. So I'll select this country column here, and then I'll click on this break option, and I'll select add break. So by clicking on this add break, what it will do, it will display the data based on the country. So for each country, it will display only one value, and for that value, it will display the data. So for if these are the three values, it will just display one unique value, France, and for it will be displaying the data for sales person and sales revenue, and after that it will add a break. So the second method is again means I want to add a break on this country. I'll right click on it. I'll go to the break option, and once I click on this break, I'll get a new pop-up here again, which will say add break. So this is another method we can add a break. Okay, so these are the two ways where we can add a break to the column data. Let's move to the calculation. So calculations means it provides standard calculation functions on the functions tab page, on the analysis tab page, to make the calculation on the data of the report. So calculations means if I want to add sum or minimum, maximum, average, I want to calculate a percentage, then in that case means these calculations are required. So these are also provided in the WEBI tool. So where it has been, so let's see, this is a analysis tab in the Web Intelligence Rich Client tool. If in the design mode, you'll see this analysis tab, and suppose on the sales revenue I want to add a sum function. So once I will select this sum sales revenue column, and then I'll go to the functions tab here, and I'll say sum. So sum or default aggregation will be a sum aggregation. There are other functions like count, and if I click on more, we'll see this average, minimum, maximum, and percentage value functions. So these are the calculations we can perform on the data in the Web Intelligence document. So this is nothing but the calculations required based on the business requirement. Okay, we done now with these breaks and calculations. Let's come to the lesson 2, which is using sorts and hiding data means. So you know means what is sorts and hiding. So sorts is nothing but we will sort the data based on ascending, descending, or uh, the default sorting. And hide means we will hide the data based on the requirement. So sorts and hiding data allows to order and structure the data in your reports. So following are the types of sort orders provided by the Web Intelligence tool. So default. So first is default, which is nothing but referred as a natural order. Means numerical order for numeric data means if there is numerical values, then it will order by numerical order, chronological order for dates, and alphabetical order for alphanumerical. So these are default order means if there is alphabetical, then it will display like A to Z. Then if it is numerical, then it will display like 0 to 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. Chronological date will be the earlier date will come first, and the later date will come later. So this is the default order. Ascending order, in this data is arranged in ascending order, like smallest value at the top and the largest value in the bottom. In the descending order, it is arranged as in ascending order, like highest value at the top and the smallest value at the bottom. Okay, so these are the three general sorts mm, are available. The fourth sort order, which is custom. So this is a custom sort order. We can define our own sort order. Apart from ascending, descending orders, if you want some specific sorting between the data, so that also we can apply. So apply to an object, we can apply this to object. Uh, so sorts the data in a data provided, not just the table. So in the data provided also it can sort. So it's like adding a temporary value which does not exist in the database to your document, and then can include in the custom sort. So if I want to add some like specific sorts, then we can add a temporary value based on that, and we can apply that in a report. So suppose the example is if I want, we can add a month 13 for the adjustment purpose, even if the value is not in the database. So suppose there is some requirement for months, apart from 12 months, there is an additional month we need for some specific calculations. Then also we can add this month as a temporary value, and then we can use that in the document. Okay, coming to how we can apply the sorts. So if you see, there are two ways we can add sorts. The first one is analysis tab. In the analysis tab, there is in display function, display tab, there is a sort option. So suppose I want to add, sort the salesperson. So what I can do means I just select that column and then I'll go to the analysis tab in display and sort, none, ascending, descending, and advanced. Advanced is nothing but adding a custom sort. So we can select any of this from for sorting. The other way is, if I want to add a sorting on the sales order, I can just right click on it. Once I right click from the context menu, I'll get an option like sort. If I click on the sort, I'll get these same options which are available in the first way: ascending, descending, advanced. Okay, so these are the ways to add apply sorts in the report. And coming to the hidden data means why the hiding of the data is needed. So when tables or specific rows either do not display data or they display data which is insignificant to the user. So suppose there is some data which is user is not interested, or he does not want to see the data, but that data is required for our purpose to calculate some data which is displaying in the report. So for that purpose, we can hide this the row which is not required or not relevant to the user. Okay, so that is we can hide, and but the data will be there in the report for our data calculations. Okay, so if for example, if you have month number in the database, but the report user wanted to see month name in the report, then we can we can hide the month number column data and display month name based on the month number. Okay, so this is just general example. Most of the time users don't want to see the month number, they want to see the month name. So at that time we can just display the month name. Okay, so this functionality of hiding the data also can be achieved with the two ways in the web intelligence tool. The first way is, suppose I want to hide this country column, then I just select this, and in the report element tab, there is a behaviors tab. In that I'll get a hide option. I can hide the date dimension. So if I click on this hide, this column will be hidden. Okay, the other way is, um, I'll just right click on that particular column which I wanted to hide. From the context menu, I'll get an option hide. Once I click on hide, there is an option hide dimension. I'll just click on this hide dimension. Once I click on the column will be hidden. Okay, coming to suppose in the report there are some hidden dimensions and I just wanted to show it again. So see means I have hidden the country name. So if I click on this table, I'll get an option means if I click on this, there are option which is show hidden dimension. If there are some hidden dimension, then only it will be enabled or visible, otherwise it will be disabled. So if you see in a previous screen, this was not enabled or it was disabled because there was no hidden dimensions. Now because I have hide the country, it is showing that hidden dimensions enable. So to show it, I'll just click on this show option. The second option is right click on that particular table and click on hide this show hidden dimension. Once we select this, whatever the hidden dimensions are there, it will be come up in the report. So that is the way, two ways we can show the report data. Okay, coming to lesson 3, which is related to the formatting breaks and cross table. Means we saw means what is breaks, so how we can format this. So when you apply a break to a table, the break footer displays an additional row at the bottom of the table that displays the subtotal clearly. So whenever we apply any break, so a break footer is getting displayed at the additional row at the bottom. So that we can use as a subtotal to display. Okay. However, every time a break is placed on the table, a break header is created. So every time is whenever we create a break, a break header is also created. So if there are multiple break headers and footers, then means we can use a manage breaks by dialog box to format the display of the breaks for the following properties. So there are different properties which are available. Display properties determines how the results display on the break. Page layout properties determines how the break display on the report. Okay, so how we can open means I can just right click on the particular column. I'll right click on means once I right click, I'll go to the break and then manage break. On the manage break, once I click on this manage break, this break properties window will get open, where you will see display properties and page layout. So if I want to add a break header, a break footer, and apply sort as well, so I can just check these options. Otherwise I can just remove these options. Page layout, so start on a new page, avoid page breaks in blocks, and repeat header on every page. So these are the three page layout options which we can use based on the business requirement. So start on a new page means after every break, it will start the next break section will be displayed on the next page. Avoid page breaks in a block. So in if you want to avoid a page breaks in a block, then also we can select this. Repeat header on every pages. So if I want to display a header on every page, then I can enable this option or just check it. Okay. So this is the different properties description which is I just told about. Break header displays the header for each part of the table. Break footer displays adds a footer after the last row of the table. Apply sort applies the default sort order. Duplicate values is if there are display all. I mean, if you want to display all the duplicate values, then you can select this option. Or just wanted to display first value, then we can select this. Duplicate values merge. If you merge cell containing duplicate values, if there are multiple values, then you can merge that values. So this option which is duplicate values is here. So whatever the three options, display first, display all, or merge, are available in that particular drop down, which is available here. Display first, display all, and merge. Okay, coming to the other options, start on new page, which I said each part of the table form, avoid page breaks in blocks, report header on every page, and report footer on every page. So it has that description where possible this keeps each break section on the same page. Okay, so guidelines for break formatting means whenever we are using breaks means what are the guidelines? See, the first one is we need to place the breaks first before calculations, whatever calculation like sum, average, minimum, maximum. So before applying that, we need to add breaks, because web intelligence will not know if there are any calculations made if you are applying a break. So we need to add breaks onto table before making any calculations. Okay, so because web intelligence does not recognize the need for recalculation at the new break level. Okay, so place the breaks first before a calculation. If you place an automatic calculation such as sum or count on a table after you format the breaks, you will lose the break footers formation. Okay, so the default action for this calculation is to calculate on all break levels present regardless of how they have been formatted. So we need to have the calculations to calculate on all break levels present. Okay, so these are the two guidelines which we should follow on the break formatting. If there are multiple breaks, like suppose I have added salesperson and country as two breaks on two columns. So by using this break properties, prioritization means we can just display, means we can decide which break should be get a higher priority. Okay, so that we can just switch from this to this. This is a multiple break prioritizations we can decide in the manage breaks properties. Okay, coming to the cross table format. So as cross tables contain two levels of dimension objects, so an additional header is required to display both object names. So if you see every cross table, this is one dimension and this is other dimension and this is a measure. So there are two dimensions required for each measure. Suppose we are adding a break on this person or salesperson, then an additional header is required. So that additional header will be get added here. Okay. So this is the cross table formatting which is needed. Then coming to the lesson 4, report filters. So report filters allows to exclude the extraneous information in order to show the report users specific and irrelevant data. So we wanted to just show the users what they are interested and what the data is relevant to them. So for that purpose, there are three filters available: query filters, report filters, and input control. So query filters allows the limit of amount of data that is retrieved from the data source and returned by the query to the web intelligence document. So this can be created or edited in query filters panel. Report filters, it will allow us to restrict the data shown in the report. So this is when the report data is shown on the report, we can restrict that data with the use of the report filters. And report users cannot see these filters who view the report in reading mode. So if users are generally viewing the report in reading mode, so they will not able to see these report filters. Then next one is input controls, which is again another way to restrict the data shown in the report by displaying the specified data. This empowers report users to see the filters in reading mode. So input controls are visible to the report users, report filters are not, and query filters are also not. Query filters are applied on the query and query, and that will be applicable when the data is retrieving from the database. Report filters will be applied on the data shown in the report, but they are not visible to the report users. Okay. So again, for the report filters, which is here of the report filters, there are again two types: simple report filters and standard report filters. So simple report filters is an easy way to create simple filter for one value. It uses equal to operator only. It's not any other operator like in list, greater than equal to or less than, like that. It just use equal operator. This is a global filter, means applies to the whole report data. So it will be applicable to the whole report data. Now the second one is standard report filters, which is offering greatest flexibility in the definition of the filter. Can create simple or complex filters because all the filter operators are available and you can filter on a single values or list of values. So this can be a global filter or can be applied to the block of the reports. Okay. So now let's see how we can create this simple filter. Simple report filter, if you see in the interact analysis tab, in the interact tab, you will see filter bar. If you click on this filter bar, you'll get this icon. Once you click here, the new filter will get added here. So this is a country, so I have filtered the data for country. Okay. So this is a simple report filter. We can add more than one simple report filter as well here, whatever objects are available there. Then to create a standard report filters, so in the analysis tab only, there is a filters tab separate, which will be available here. And if I click on this, there is an option, it will show add filter. If there are existing filters, then this edit filter will be enabled. If there is already any filter, and remove filter will be also enabled. So this is add filter. If I click on this add filter, a new window will get open where I can add these objects. So suppose if I once I click on this, I'll get a screen to select the object. So once I select here, then I can choose the operators here, and then I can select which value. And once I click on this, it will be displayed. So This is the way we can add a standard report filter. Okay. The third one is how to create an input query control filters. So input control filters are the easiest way to filter the data for the report users. They provide more visibility to the report users. So input controls, they will see the screens once. So if there are no input controls specified, then it will say there are no input controls defined in this document. To define one, please click here. So once you click on this, so now a new window will get open, and we need to select the object. And once we select the object, we can select this value option, single value, entry field, combo box, or review buttons, or list box, whatever we want, or multi value also, checkbox, list box. So we can select any of this value, and once we select, we can click on next. And once we click on next, so where we wanted to apply, whether it is just for current report or whole document. So we can select any of this option, whatever as per the business need, and we can click on finish. Once we finish this, in the input control section on the report side, there is this filter will appear as country all values. We can select from this, and then the data will be displayed there. Okay. So these were related to the filters. There are three report filters. There are three types of filters: a query filter, a report filter, and input control filter. So report filter will have again two types: simple report filter and standard report filter. So which we just covered. Coming to the lesson 5 means so ranking data means what is ranking data. So it allows to display the top or bottom three or more values for a given measure on a given dimension. So it will allows for top or bottom three or five values, whatever we want. So what are the levels, at which level we can apply the ranking? One is database level and other is report level. So in database level, in query panel, on the query filters panel toolbar, we can choose add database ranking. So this is applied to the at the database level, or means while retrieving the data from the query. And the report level will be based whenever the data is shown on the report, means after displaying the report data on the document, then we will apply the ranking. So these two database level and report level ranking are available in the SAP Web Intelligence. So how we can apply database level ranking? So this is a query filter panel snapshot, where this is the results objects panel, and then the middle one is query filters pane. So there is an option or icon you will see. So click on this icon. Means once we click on this icon, a new filter type will get added, where we can display top 10 or 5, whatever value we need to specify, and then object. Suppose I just wanted to add a to display top 5 service lines, so I can select that object, and based on which is the measure, so I can select any of the measures like sales revenue or like that, to get this database level ranking. Report level ranking. So report level ranking, once the data is getting gets displayed on the report data output, there is in an analysis tab, there is a filters tab, and there is a ranking option here. If you click on this add ranking, so select column, click add ranking. So once you click on this add ranking, a new window will get open, where we can specify top or bottom. Top three values I want, based on which sales revenue, and ranked by I can specify any of the country or sales revenue. So calculation mode is count or sum or anything, whatever you want. So once we click on this, okay, this report level ranking will be applied. Okay. So coming to the next lesson, which is highlighting information with the formatting rules. So formatting rules allows us to create the reports, the call to call the particular attention to the data that fulfill specific criteria. So suppose there is some specific data. Suppose there is a sales revenue which is more than $10,000. So if that is the case, then it should be highlighted with red color. green color, or if it is below than $10,000, then I wanted to highlight with some different color. So for that purpose, this formatting rules we can specify it enables to highlight the results that meet or fail specific business targets. So formatting rule contains following elements: a name, object or cell contents, operator, operand value, or another object, and the conditional formatting. So these are the principles while creating conditional formatting. You can apply rules to tables, forms, sections, cells, and freestanding cells. You cannot apply rule to charts. See, formatting cannot be applied to charts, formatting rules. You can include up to 30 formatting rules in a document. So maximum 30 formatting rules in a document we can apply. A maximum of 10 formatting rules can be applied to a single table, column, or row. So for a single table or a freestanding cell or a section cells, we can apply at the max 10 formatting rules. Okay, so these are the guidelines while creating conditional formatting. So while creating means how we can create this conditional formatting. So this is the screenshot which is available here. So this is the report data. In the analysis tab, there is option conditional tab here available. And if I click on this new rule to create a new conditional rule, and then there is the new window will get open where we can give the name as whatever we want means for this rule. Then we can add filter objects. So suppose sales revenue is the objects, then equal to operator. This is the operator. You can specify this operator. Operand value. We can specify the operand value, or we can specify some other objects. So just to compare sales revenue with any other object. And then format. This will allows to highlight means suppose if this condition meets, then I want to highlight the cell with the red color. So that also we can specify red, underline, italic, or font size increase to larger font. So that also we can do it here in formatting. Okay, once we apply this, then we can just click on OK, so that will, whenever we refresh the report, that data will be displayed based on the highlighting rules. Okay, so coming to the lesson 7 means, which is organizing reports in a section. So this is one important part in the web intelligence documents, which is sections. So sections are very important in business intelligence. So we can group data in a block using break section function. A section displays the group values and appears as a header outside the block instead of remaining within the block. So a break and sections are opposite things. So break will be within the block. Break will be applied within the block. On the other hand, section will be applied outside the section block. So I will give you the example means there is one screenshot available. So a section groups entire report opposite to the break. So break just groups a particular block, but section groups entire report. So what are the advantages of sections? We can project multiple blocks from the same microcube within a single report, all subgroup to the section level. We can insert subtotal cells repeated each sections, which are created by simple process of drag and drop. So these are the two advantages of section: projecting multiple blocks and inserting subtotal cells based on the each section. So just to clarify means what is section and how it looks. So this is a vertical table. You see year, sales person, sales revenue. So this is a vertical table which is displaying data. So if I want to apply a section on the year, right, I'll apply the section on this year, and it will display the data like this. For financial year 2011, it will group the data, whatever the data is available. So for 2011 there are 3 rows, so it will display 3 rows. For 2012 there are again 3 rows, it will display. and so on. For financial year 2013, it has again 3 rows, so it will display again a third block here. So this is the way. So section will come out of the block and it will be applied to whole report, not to just within the block. So how we can apply this section? So see, means I wanted to add a section on this. So there are two ways. The first one is we can right click on this and we'll say set as section. So once, as soon as we click on this set as section, the data will be appeared as like this, whatever here. Okay. Coming to the next one, which is here. The other way is, if I want to add a section on this year, I will go to the report element. There is section tab and I will say just insert section. So once I select insert section, then it will ask for the data of available objects for which object you want to add a section. So we select year. Okay. So I hope you got about all these things. We are almost up to the end of this unit. So just to final means checking your understanding. What are the activities performed by the web intelligence when you apply a break? So what are the advantages? That's what it is asking. What are the types of sort orders in web intelligence? So as far as I know, means it's default, ascending, descending, custom. These are four sort orders. On which tab page you can show or hide tables or rows or columns. So that we will see which of the levels you can apply ranking. Where is the ranking we can apply. So database level and report level. So let's check our answers. See what is the activities performed by break. So it separates the data for each unique value of the selected variable. It inserts blank row or a column after each value. It sorts the data in alphabetical order from top to bottom. And then what are the types of sort orders? Default, ascending, descending, and custom. Which tab page we can show or hide tables, rows, or columns? It's the report elements. Which of the levels you can apply in ranking? So database level and table level or report level is there are two ranking levels. Okay, so that's it from my side related to this unit 4. I hope you must have understood. I will be covering the next video about the unit 4 exercises. Means we'll be covering all this break section, sorting, hiding data. All this will be covered in, practically. So keep watching my videos. I will be and if you like my videos, please subscribe. There is a subscribe button at the top of this video. Please subscribe. Thank you for watching.